Hello, everybody. I'm Melissa, and welcome back to Book Bar, and welcome to my April mid-month wrap-up. Sorry, I haven't been posting. I've been kind of in like a reading slump, life slump. My mom was visiting. I started my new job. Things have been crazy. Fully started my new job, not just training. And so things have been crazy. And I haven't had time. I've been very slumpy in my reading. Luckily, this past week, I think I've kind of gotten out of that slump and books have been hitting more and I've been excited to read. Whereas before, I was not excited. I didn't audiobooks weren't doing it, ebooks, physical, nothing was working. I already have DNFs 2 books this month, so things have been crazy. But yeah, so the first half of the month, from the 1st to the 15th, I finished a total of 7 books and DNF'd 2. It's probably my worst first half reading month ever, but it's fine. We still got some reading done, and I've read some really good books. So if this is your first wrap-up of mine, I go in order of how I completed them. So I might have started a book on the 1st, but not finished it till the 15th. Or I might have started a book on the 9th and finished it on the 9th, and so that would be, so that's just the way it is. We're just gonna get into it. The first book that I finished was The Mixtape by Brittainy Cherry. This is a single mom romance where the hero, Oliver, his brother was his bandmate and they were best friends. They were twins, and his brother died in a car accident. It's in the beginning, so it's not a spoiler. It's literally the first chapter. And people blame Oliver for it because his brother, I think it was Michael or Alex, whatever. His brother was very much like Alex. His brother Alex was very much an extrovert and was kind of the face of the band, and Oliver was just kind of the soul of the band. And obviously with Alex passing away, people blamed Oliver because they left a party early, but Oliver was already planning on leaving, and Alex just decided to leave also because he had somewhere he wanted to be that was more important. But now it's 6 months later, and Oliver meets this girl, Emery, and he does some stuff that costs her job, and she can't pay her rent. She can't help her daughter. So he offers her a job as a chef for him and pays her whole rent. He makes up for it. But yeah, it was fantastic. There was great mental health rep, therapy rep. It was a rock star and a chef, boss employee, single mom. There was lots of religious trauma because Emery comes from a very religious family. I did guess the twist. I had a feeling from early on what that little twist was. But yeah, I give it 4.5 stars. I had a good time with it. And a Brittainy Cherry book is always a good emotional read if you need one. So yeah, had a good time, and I'm glad I finally read this one. Then I read Wild River by Laurier Pavlov, and I gave this one 4 stars. This was Ruby and River, and they don't like each other. River is the town lawyer, and Ruby is visiting because her father has been in the hospital for some issues he had with some medication that he took to, get him going again. And Ruby kind of doesn't like River because she thinks that he gave her dad some bad lawyerly advice. Well, it's not true, but it's fine. River had to grovel in the most epic of groveling ways. It was a small town, forced proximity, and they were just sleeping together, of course. No feelings are going to happen. So, yeah, I give it 4 stars. It's not my favorite Laurier Pavlov book. Probably actually lower on my favorites list, but we'll see. I'm excited for the next one because it's Forbidden Brother's best friend, and their friend group, who's very much found family, has a rule of no siblings. So we'll see. It'll be very interesting. I'm excited for that one. Hopefully that helps the series. And then the first book I DNF'd was Of Shadows and Moonlight. I don't even remember the author. It was putting me in a slump. I was wanting to do absolutely everything but read. And I didn't even want to pick up other books. I literally was just no, I don't want to read it all. So I DNF'd it. It was weird. It was for a vlog that I scrapped. But yeah, I didn't love it. So DNF'd that. Then also, I don't feel bad about it. It was a book I got for free from like a Stuff Your Kid All Day. Then I finished Hale by Anastaija White. This is a soccer player and a single dad. Well, he's a soccer player and a single dad. And Hunter is that guy. He comes back to town, to LA after living in Europe for years. And he comes back to LA to give his daughter like a sense of family and things, because his daughter's mom and him didn't work out, and he wants her to have like a family. So he comes back home to his parents and his brother, and he needs a nanny. And of course, every nanny that every candidate that he's met has just been like after him and wanting to sleep with him. And he's like, no, I need someone for my daughter. And his brother, who is quite a bit younger, has a best friend named Piper, who is kind of in need of a job. She's kind of flailing around. She needs something. And so the brother is like, hey, why don't you be a nanny for my niece? Like, I love my niece. I think you guys, they hit it off. They had like a day where they went to the zoo and they hit it off. And so Hunter's brother, I can't even remember his name, suggests to Hunter that he hire Piper. And so things go from there. Of course, they fall for each other while things are going. But Hunter is a very broken boy. And at times, he was just like too mean. And so I gave it 4 stars because I didn't love how mean he was at times. But he did have a pretty good grovel. So yeah, 4 stars. Then I finished The Duke Gets Even by Johanna Shupe. This is the final book in the Fifth Avenue Rebel series. This follows Nellie and the Duke of Lockwood, Andrew. And if you read the whole series, you know that the Duke has had some problems with Nellie's friends. Like, he has courted them all. Well, one of them not really, but he has courted them all, and they've all then found their true love, and it was not Andrew. But we know that Andrew and Nellie, from like previous books, we know that they have some sort of weird something going on. And then we learned really early on what it was, that they had a night together in the ocean. And yeah, Andrew is all for it. He like wants Nellie, and he knows like she's it for me. And she's not willing to go like do what needs to be done, because there's an issue that Andrew has. And Nellie is concerned that if she were to pack up her whole life, something would happen and she'd be left alone in a foreign country, and is not looking for that. So, but of course, things happen. She's the one that does a pretty good grovel. Yeah. I gave it 4.5 stars. Probably my 3rd favorite in the series, but I still really enjoyed it, and I definitely suggest you read it. Then I read The Heir by Johanna Lindsey. I read this for my 2 books, 1 title vlog. I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 5 stars. It was extremely over the top and wild. And yeah, it was Duncan and Sabrina, and Duncan is betrothed to the it girl of the town, and the it girl does not want to marry this Scottish barbarian, as she calls him. So she's going to do everything in her power to make that not happen, including completely making a jerk of herself in front of him, and him calling off the engagement because he wants nothing to do with her. And then he meets her fake friend. Sabrina believes her and Ophelia are friends until she learns that Ophelia is really just like a witch with a B. And so Sabrina and Duncan had a little chance encounter, and they just become friends because Sabrina is like light and sunshine and everything happy-go-lucky that you could ever want in a heroine, in a grumpy sunshine pairing. And so he thinks that they start off as friends, and of course things go from there. But yeah, it was completely over the top and wild. There was 15 plot points, but I had a great time with it. I gave it 5 stars just because it was one of those books that I think I needed to read it when I read it, because like I said, I had been slumping, and this just was fast paced. There was always something happening. And so it was right book, right time for sure. Then I finished Wild Love by Elsie Silver and Ford Grant Jr. Oh, I loved it. Elsie Silver writes the best daddies, let's be real. my two favorite books of hers so far have been Reckless and Heartless, and those are both Daddy's. So, you know, add Ford to that list. Like, it was so good. So this follows Rosie and Ford. And Rosie is Ford's best friend's little sister. There is no best friend drama, which is fantastic because he's really just like this will be in my new release vlog that'll have come out later the month. Willa kind of tells Ford, like, would you be mad if I dated West? And he's like, no, like obviously before she met Cade. And he's like, no, I'd be mad if I caught you guys sneaking around. And she goes, exactly. So just tell him the truth before you guys sneak around. And so Ford does that. Like, until West is like, yeah, I've known you were in love with my sister all along. So I loved that aspect of it, but so good. And Rosie comes back to town, and her and Ford end up working together because she needs a job. She has a great business eye, so she works with him. It was great. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Fantastic. Then I read The Heir by Coulter, and I DNF'd this. I read it, I DNF'd it really quick. Like, I read, like, probably 4 chapters. They're cousins, like, actual first cousins. No. Just no. So, yeah, DNF'd that one. Also, in my 2 books, 1 title vlog, if you want anything else. Then the final book that I finished this month was The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. I'm in a book club in real life, and this is the book that we're reading this month, and I gave this 4 stars. It was just a fun rom-com. It was very rom-commy. I was talking about it with my cousin-in-law, my cousin's wife, and because she's in the book club also, we were just kind of talking about it the other day about, you know, if I had finished it. I hadn't yet, and she had, and she was like, it's just like the most rom-commy of rom-coms. And she's not a romance reader, like traditional. She reads romantically. She's not like a traditional romance reader. But obviously I read a lot of romance, but it is very much just like a rom-com. Like, there was no deep emotions to it. But I had a good time with it. This is a second chance romance between Nora and Duncan. Nora and Duncan, they dated in college, and Duncan is the star tight end, and Nora is a up-and-coming sports agent, and Nora ends up becoming Duncan's agent, and he is very mean to her at first, like sending her on these like wild goose chases, basically, like not letting her actually do her work, and doing all this stuff and saying like, well, then you can just quit, and she's obviously doesn't want to do that because that would make her look bad. Well, then something happens and they end up married in Vegas, and to save her career, they end up like actually going along with this marriage, and you know, things are gonna happen as it goes on. So, you know, feelings are going to come out, the reason behind the breakup in the past, like all of that stuff. So yeah, like I said, there was really nothing like deep about this. It was just a good time. Like, if you're looking for a fun, easy, quick, like, it's very much like a beach read. Take it, read it on the beach, like a great summer vacation read, and like you'll laugh, you won't cry, but I had a good time with that. Like, I gave it 4 stars. It's not my a favorite book or anything, but I had a good time with it, and I love the cover. It's beautiful. Like, the colors are just so bright and fun. So yeah, definitely had a good time with this, and I don't know what else to say. So yeah, those are the 7 books and 2 DNFs I had for the first half of the month. What has been your favorite book so far? I've only had 1 5-star so far. Or actually, I've had 2 5 stars, but 1 that's like a true 5-star. And so that's probably my favorite, but I'm not going to say what it is. But if you're paying attention, you know what it is. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me a plant emoji because I'm surrounded by plants in my aunt's house. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps me out, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Bye.